engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello, welcome to Faith on Film. We are so excited you're joining us today. I'm Isaac Hernandez, and I'm here with Holly McClure, who has an amazing interview today. Holly, why don't you tell us what you have for us today?
Well, we have got an amazing movie, first of all, called Sarah's Oil. It's an amazing story. We've got the producer of the movie coming on to talk about it, and you do not want to miss this. It's so inspiring and lots of interesting information about it, so stay with us.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's take a look at the trailer to Sarah's Oil and come back with your interview.
My name's Sarah Rector. The state gave me 160 acres on account of my ancestors, and there's oil on.
Well, how do you know that?
God gave me the ears to hear it. Do you hear it, Blue? There's oceans down there.
Nobody but you, Lord.
I got oil on my land, and I'm looking for a partner to help me drill it out.
Bertrand Byron Smith, at your service. I look for oil, and I drill for it.
I was thinking 50-50.
We should have our lawyers meet. That's my lawyer, the Texas handshake. There ain't nothing more binding.
We're in Oklahoma.
It goes double for Okies. Here we go.
Nobody but you, Lord. Nobody but.
What's the damage? Well, this might be the end of the road.
Dude, give them so easy.
What's your guess? Is he gonna do the right thing?
We shook hands.
You may have to speak to him.
I don't know what to say.
God'll give you the words. We need money out of you. But how are we gonna get him?
Hi, I'm Sarah, Bert's business partner. Has Bert properly presented our proposition map?
You said y'all need to put in your $1,000.
We need $2,000, and we need it today. It's a partnership.
Got some real nice mud here. Hoping you might test it first.
I've never seen anything like it. That field you're sitting on could be the richest in all Oklahoma.
When I was sinning, Lord.
I'll give you $20 an acre.
I ain't selling.
You want a war?
You told me things about my soul. Ain't nobody ever done that for me. Ain't nobody ever cared.
We're dealing with some mighty devious folks over here.
Then we need to fight for what's ours.
Is that why I see dynamite?
That's my oil!
No, it ain't!
I would not do that if I was you. You took the liberty of wiring up your wells just in case you wanted to do something foolish.
It's funny. When the land had only weeds and lizards, it was all mine. But when people found out there was oil on it, they started thinking it's theirs. All I'm asking is to keep what's mine.
Her name is Sarah Rector, and you're going to be hearing a lot about her.
You know, I've grown kind of fond of the kid. That's called a knight.
It can hop over your pieces.
That's right. Look at you. You're learning.
Just want to make sure before I take her clean.
Really?
Nobody but you.
John, it's such a pleasure to have you on Faith on Film. Thanks for joining us to talk about Sarah's Oil. I love having this movie.
Thank you, Holly. It's nice to be here. Thanks for hosting us.
You're so welcome. Okay, first of all, I don't know how many people know that there was an 11-year-old young black girl millionaire in the 1900s. I mean, the first, I think, child millionaire for sure, or got it on her own. This is a fascinating story.
Incredible. I was looking, and I love telling stories about American underdogs and people who overcame incredible odds and adversity. And I met with some businessmen who said, how come there's nobody telling stories about American entrepreneurship and, you know, the American dream and people overcoming? And I said, well, you know, let me think about that. And I was looking for a story about, I don't know, Starbucks or, you know, Little Caesars Pizza or something. And Cyrus Naraza, who I had done The Stoning of Soraya M. with, and he did Young Messiah, he said, you know, there's a little story, little known, about an 11-year-old girl at the turn of the century. Not much known about her, but she was one of the first Black American millionaires. And I was like, what? How do I not know this story? And so anytime I get curious of something like that and drawn in, I know, oh, that's it, that we need to hear this. How do we not know her name? So, yeah.
I was fascinated. Well, first of all, and the time period to which she became a millionaire was not a very gracious time to Blacks. It wasn't to Native Americans. I mean, there was children, in fact, and young adults who had property were killed so that they could get the land. So it was a really dangerous time for her to even living and much less be claiming the oil and saying, no, this is my property, etc. Right?
Right. Yeah. Talk about overcoming adversity. I mean, I think for anyone who has a dream that's ever worked hard to achieve it, they've encountered incredible resistance. But the kind of stuff that she went through, it's just like, wow, at 11 years old, she can do this. Anything is possible. I think for me, I often get drawn to stories where I think, oh, this is a message the world needs to hear. And then I find out later, no, John, actually, God is saying, you're the one who needed to learn this, that needed to hear this. And that it was my experience that we're all given dreams. We're all given worthless land or a real estate where people tell it's unsuitable for farming. It's not good for anything. But she had a belief and dream that this was a gift and it was meant to be used. And that was very relevant and timely for me today. And I think hopefully speaks to our young people, the next generation, those pursuing dreams, that anything is possible.
Well, before we talk about the cast and the movie, I want to ask you, it filmed in Oklahoma and you had a chance to meet the relatives, right? The descendants of Sarah. And Sarah Rector is her name. And it was actually an amazing home that she built, a Rector home. I literally did some deep dive on it. But did you have a chance to meet the family, and how was that for them to know that there's a movie being made?
So anytime you make a true story, it's always a little risky because you have somebody's life that you're trying to portray. So we actually didn't involve the family until after the film was done. So we had done a lot of research. We optioned a book and bought Searching for Sarah Rector by the Princeton historian and scholar Tanya Bolden. We'd done a lot of research online and newspapers and historical societies, but there's not a lot known about Sarah Rector, but we found Tanya Bolden's book to be the most authoritative and definitive. So it was a little nervous, Holly, for us to show the film once it was done to her. And of course, they didn't know how much of her story we were going to tell or what part of it we were going to tell. So when they saw it and they loved it, we were so encouraged. They said, you captured our great aunt's spirit. And it's not a documentary. We have creative license, and obviously it's inspired by her story. But it was enough that they felt like, wow, we can get behind this, and have fully supported it, which is just so affirming.
And I just have to ask this because this is just the curious me. Did the wealth stay in the family and through generations, that they still have money today, or was it kind of squandered or gone, or was her legacy still there today?
Yeah. Well, her legacy is there. Much of the funds have gone because she lost quite a bit during the Great Depression. But, there's some, I don't want to ruin the movie because you'll see at the end what she did with some of her wealth. But know this, that she went on to become a great philanthropist and benefactor through very lavish parties, and gave back to the community because she'd been so rewarded in life. She wanted to share that and spread that wealth. And those are the kind of stories that move me as a filmmaker. I want to do stories connected to causes, what I call philanthropic, because it inspires somebody to change behavior or give back. Those are my favorite kind of stories, and the ones that really, truly motivate me.
Okay, let's talk about the movie. I saw who I love, Zachary Levi, is in this movie, and he plays a character Bird. But the girl, how did you get to capture that 11-year-old girl who could just capture her spirit and her heart and be smart and all those things? Naya is her name, right?
Yes, Naya Desir-Johnson. She is just incredible. We did a nationwide search. We saw probably more than 500 little girls from all over the country, east to west coast, through churches, through casting agents, through all the usual channels of auditions. And Cyrus, to his credit, our director, said, we're not making this movie unless we find the right girl. And, the film was greenlit twice and ungreenlit. It would different reasons, things would fall out. But I believe that the timing was sort of God's. We were waiting for the right girl to show up. And when Naya showed up at the audition and could improv and hold her own with Zach Levi, I was like, yes, okay, this little girl's got spunk. I like her. And man, she just did a great job, just nailed it. She's got quite a career ahead of her if she chooses to pursue it.
Okay, but she must have loved playing this part. Who gets to play a millionaire when you're 11, are you right? And much less a woman who lived for real and changed history. It must have influenced her life as well.
I'm certain that it did. But I can tell you, filmmaking, as you know, is not all glamorous and glitz that people think. It's we had days that it was 100, 110 degrees in Oklahoma filming, and she's in period costume, wool outfits and socks, and running around in the weeds where there's ticks and there's thunderstorms coming, and there's just all kinds of opposition. We had tornadoes. She got a real taste of what Sarah went through, and she was only there for 30 days. But we got to become friends. We celebrated her birthday. I think she turned 11 while we were there. We roller skated together. We went to baseball games and watched the Tulsa Drillers, and we got to watch this little girl grow up, change, and also have impact on us before our eyes. I mean, it was just, I think she's a really special actress, really a talent.
And Zachary, I mean, he's a sweetheart Christian and, wanting to make for family films and really choosing his films more carefully. And it seems like the last ones he's done have been based on true characters and are message stories in a way. So did he enjoy playing his character in his role?
I think it's probably Zachary's best work, if I say so myself. He's good in everything, but he's really good in this. And one of the reasons I think he is so good is he's generous on screen. He is, it's Sarah's movie. It's about her story, but it's also her impact on him. And I think Zachary does a wonderful job of, sharing a faith journey. We watch this film and, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He's a wildcatter. He's out there to make money. And I think there's a little bit of me in that character of Bert. He's a hustler. He's looking for his next big win. And he's surprised by a little girl. What does scripture say about having the faith of a little child? Her just innocence, her purity, her motives, and her love, her unconditional love for others. And I think that's what was impactful for him, both off screen and on screen. But he's masterful. He's always so darn funny. I wish I could put every outtake in the movie because he always has a witty line as he exits the scene, and you're like, we can't use that, but oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
You should put that together. Honestly, I would go see that. I would watch that somewhere on YouTube or somewhere. That would be great. I'm telling you. Well, speaking of scenes, so we watch the trailers, we get the gist of the story. What was maybe one of your favorite one or two scenes that if people go see it, they can look for and go, oh, John, like that. As a producer, it's, kind of your baby, all of it. And you've watched it from the concept to take it all the way through. What was one of the more impactful ones you either saw being filmed or afterwards you liked the best?
Wow. We had to be very economical with our cut. So there's many scenes that I loved that didn't even make it into the finished film. So you can tell how much I like the finished film when some of my favorite scenes aren't even in there. I think there was a scene with a mom and daughter where the little daughter, Naya's, Sarah's dream has been shattered. And her mom says, sometimes dreams don't come true. Sometimes your dreams don't work out. And she looks at her mom and she says, is that what happened to you, Mom? And it is so heartbreaking. He didn't put that in the movie, but whenever I think about
you mentioned maybe John, I want that scene.
Well, maybe there'll be another cut coming down the pipe, but there are, I want you to go see the film. I want people to go to the theater to see my favorite scenes because, of course, there's her economic journey to success, but it's really the impact that these two people have on each other. Sarah has agency. She's a very strong character. She does not take no for an answer, and she's not dependent upon anybody for help. But one of the, I'll tell you a moment, Holly, I love is some things go wrong, and they give up. And she says, "No wonder things don't work out for you guys. You quit so easy." And think about that as a filmmaker. That so many times this was a movie people would say just does not want to get made. Everything that could go wrong, cast would fall out, weather problems, financial problems, resistance from all kinds of different angles. It's just the film that doesn't want to get made. But I think that like life, sometimes the amount of resistance you have to something, a dream, is in direct proportion to the impact it will have. And without great sacrifice, there can't be great gain. And Sarah made tremendous sacrifice. Naya and her mom made tremendous sacrifice to do this film, as did everybody who worked on it. So in that sense, my favorite scenes are some in the film, some not, but all together, I think as a whole, just the spirit of Sarah is what makes me laugh and smile every time I see is like, oh my gosh, I just love this little girl.
You know, I find that when I talk to the producers, directors, the filmmakers behind it, projects that are, faith-based or a good message, and it is always interesting to hear the things that came against it. Like you mentioned tornado. I mean, I'm sorry, but you hear a tornado and then the weather and the season. And those are, people don't understand if you haven't been on a movie set all day long, there are long days with crews working really hard, long days, and you can't really allow for much to go up, oh, well, we'll just do it tomorrow. I mean, it's not that kind of thing. So it really is interesting when you get that, butt up against those challenges to get something made. It is a true test of faith too, to come out of that. Okay. What is John going to be looking at doing after the Sarah's Oil? Is there another project you have going on, or what are you looking to do at this point?
Yeah. Well, we love working with Wonder, of course, and Amazon MGM and a whole spirit of Wonder. And Kingdom Story does great films. But the newness of and the wonder, I have a project called In Search of Wonderful, which is to the true story, the origin story of It's a Wonderful Life that I'm really hoping we'll do next. I'm working as every good producer has what I like to say is 100 irons in the freezer. So I've got a few other things I'm trying to done. Some baseball stories with a wonderful producer named Bruce Nash. But I really like the idea of doing stories that inspire, that are true, that again demonstrate somebody overcoming incredible adversity. And so I don't know what will be next, which is what I think why filmmaking and artistry is so conducive to a life of faith. It's like, God, where are you moving? I want to get involved there because that film is already blessed rather than bless my plans. Because sometimes my plans, my ways are not his ways. So I have to look for where's he moving. And I think In Search of Wonderful might be where we go next.
Oh, I love that. I looked at your partnering with him too and doing projects because I know the Irwin brothers were also producers on this, and Kevin Downs, he's our friend. I love, I'll tell you, those guys, I've been reviewing their movies since their very early first ones, and in fact worked with Kevin Downs when he did some movies that he embodied, early on. But anyway, it's just great.
Champion of our work and this film, and really fought for the cast and to get it made. We owe a debt of gratitude to Kingdom Story and Kevin. And of course, the Irwin brothers, their work speaks for themselves, and House of David coming out and all the good work they're doing over at Wonder. Jeremy Latcham is an unsung hero who did a great service to us, read this script early on and had grown up on the oil fields. His dad was a roughneck and said, I can't help you now. But 2 years later, when he got hired by Wonder, he said, this is the first film we're doing. So.
Wow. See, it's God's timing. I always tell everybody, God's timing. It seems like you're waiting forever, but when he opens that door, then you get it done. Sarah's Oil is going to be coming out to theaters, and by the time people watch this interview, it may already have been. So I'm sure it'll be streaming as well. But please, I'm begging you, make a behind the scenes, even if it's just a half an hour, of some of the things that did not make it, and then the funny things that Zachary did. Because I'm telling you, the making of Sarah's Oil, I would watch that just as much. It'd be just as interesting, and love it.
Zachary Levi fly down the street on a skateboard with one wheel, motorized at 40 miles an hour with no helmet, in period costume over the dirt. And I mean, that was enough to drive a producer crazy, but he's so comfortable and confident and good. He makes it look like, oh yeah, I'm just Tom Cruise on my F-16 or whatever. Crazy. I also forget to mention sometimes our other producer, Derek Williams, phenomenal talent, did Miracles from Heaven, as a lot of other films. He's been a super advocate and promoter and trusted partner on this project, has done great work for us. So we've really got quite a great team of people, but it took a team. It took a village. Nobody does it by themselves, right? If you want to go far, you go with others. Yeah.
Well, we just pray God's blessings on you, John Sjepherd, and on Sarah's Oil. And because this is an amazing movie, everyone must see it. Yes, it's about a child, but there are a lot of adult actors. It's a story that doesn't involve racism. It's not about that. It's about faith and believing and overcoming. And I love that. So I'm encouraging all audiences we are to go to it. And thanks again, John, for being with us.
Thank you so much for celebrating these kind of true stories of faith, family, community. It's what it's all about, relationship, and we appreciate ours with you. So keep it up, Faith on Film. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you.
What do we have to gain?
Pretty much everything.
I have loved you every day, every hour, every minute, every second ever since.
We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we need. We're connected.
all of us.
When the Jesus movement swept across the world 50 years ago, churches were divided against themselves. Based on a true story, Jesus Freaks is both a new book and a motion picture by writer and director Nina May. It's the story of two college kids who discover love, faith, and the power of the Holy Spirit changing lives around them. Follow their lifelong journey through spiritual awareness and supernatural encounters while embracing the power of the Holy Spirit in their lives.
Wonderful interview, Holly.
Well, I tell you what, he was so fascinating talking about this story. And I love the fact that it's not only a true story, you know, about what happened to this little girl, which I'd never heard of before, but very inspiring. And you know, I got to say, okay, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this will be a movie about a little girl. Even though I knew the ending, it gripped me. Like, I was like really concerned for her and her family because, folks, believe me, this is back at a time, early 1900s, when racism was very prevalent, not only for the slaves and Black people that they considered still, you know, that slave mentality, but that they didn't have any rights. But at that time, also Native Americans, they were going in and taking what children had as property or inherited as property from their ancestors or tribal property. They were going in and killing the children, killing these young people and others, and then taking the land. So it was definitely going on at that time. It was a dangerous time to step out. And in this movie, she fights literally the local law, local people in the town, you know, has to get Zachary Levi. I love him. Zachary Levi plays Bert. He was a real live Bert. There was a real Bert in this story. And, you know, he's that, you know, he's in there for the landman to make money, but he had so much humor and sweetness and levity to this. And it shows how someone that was just out for himself and goes out for himself to make money and what's the best for him. And even is tempted to give away some of what she had to make the best for him. How he is redeemed at the end and takes up for her and comes for her. And so, you know, there's lives that are threatened. There's properties that's threatened. It shows how the family sticks together. I was amazed that the parents let this child kind of really steer them, but she was smart and she did not miss a trick. I mean, she knew what was going on with those contracts and everything else. So to me, it's just fascinating to watch this story at that period of time and the mentality of what went on with her and her thinking, and then what went on with the family, the dynamics, and people that were killed for what they believed in. I don't know. Very strong movie. Sarah's Oil. Please go see it. Do not miss this movie and take your kids and your teenagers to it. It's really interesting.
Yes. You know, I got to see a pre-screener because it hasn't come out yet, but I got to see a pre-screener and I absolutely loved it. And there were several things I liked about it. One of them, of course, I love stories of, you know, underdogs that just somehow, you know, make it and make it because of their own abilities, if you will, also, and their own, you know, she studied, you know, this didn't just come to her. She actually studied. That's why she could, you know, look at contracts and know what they would say. So I love that. And I also love the fact that movies now, faith-based, faith-adjacent, whatever you want to call these faith movies.
Inspired movies.
They are now at the quality of the big Hollywood movies. And that's very important to note right here, is because a lot of, again, people sometimes hear, oh, it's a faith-based movie. It must not be as good. Trust me, this is up there in that Hollywood level. But what I really appreciated was this little girl, not only the story of the actual girl herself, but the little girl that played her. She was amazing.
Amazing. She was amazing. And again, folks, Zachary Levi, Shazam, you know, the Shazam movies. This is a big actor, okay? Like you just said, Isaac. This is the quality and level of acting that you would see on other films. This is not small time. And she is phenomenal in this role. I mean, and he talks about how she was so amazing and how she was fun on set and how Zachary played jokes. In fact, we were kidding, I don't know if it was off camera or on camera, but how he should do like a bloopers thing of just Zachary Levi because he was so funny. You know, he said, I should do bloopers. I'm like, please do. I would watch it, of the outtakes and things that he did, you know, in this movie. But this just, I agree with you. It's just the content and what she did and studied. And the truth, 11 years old, you become a millionaire. 11 years old, they bought a house and she bought a house for her family. And the relatives, the grandkids, I think, and then the distant nieces and nephews were the ones that participated in seeing this movie made. So the family did get to see it.
That was a very good idea that you told him about doing not only the outtakes, but really also the scenes that didn't make it. He talked about one of his favorite scenes that never made it onto the movie.
Yeah.
I remember when movies came out on DVDs, they would have the extras, they called them, and you could, go to the extras and watch the extras, sometimes the scenes that didn't make it on. I think they should do something that shows those extras as well. Great idea, Holly.
I do too. Thank you. And honestly, it would be so interesting because there was so much that happened in this movie. If we see the movie, folks, it's coming out in November for people that see this show after. It will be, I'm sure, streaming on something because it's that good of a movie. They're going to, I'm sure, be streaming it after the theaters. But if you see Sarah's Oil, please go see it. It's not a spiritual, scriptural oil. It's literally an oil derrick. It's literally striking for oil. It's a fantastic story, one that has not been told before, and it is worth every bit of going to see it with your family.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a must-see movie. I've been talking about it to all my family, all my friends, saying, look, you got to go see this movie. Now, there's another movie that I recently saw. It's already on theaters. We don't have much time to talk about it, but I do want to make sure that people know about this movie, and that is a movie called Truth and Treason.
I haven't seen the movie, but I have been sent clips and been sent things about the actors in it, and I have seen enough where I know what it's like, and it's getting rave reviews. I mean, critics are saying this is really a good movie. It's kind of under the radar because people are like, oh, okay, another movie about Jews or the Holocaust or whatever. But no, this is different. I'm actually going to go this evening to go see it, so I'm excited to go see it, like you had, Isaac. But yeah, I can already tell it is one of those that stands out. So it's called what again?
Truth and Treason.
Truth and Treason, folks. Okay, look, it's in your theaters right now, and go see that as well. It's two good films that are about true stories that are worth going to see in theaters right now. So yeah, there's something worth seeing in theaters.
Absolutely. And I know that you're working on trying to get somebody associated with that movie to come on the show so we can interview them. So folks, be on the lookout for that show. One of the best ways to make sure that you don't miss one of our shows is to go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@FaithOnFilmTV. And when you go there, make sure not only subscribe, but hit that little notification bell so that you can be notified when the show comes out. Holly, let's take a quick break right now as we hear from one of our sponsors.
What makes Capernaum Studios different from other movie studios? We believe in empowering filmmakers to make stories that matter, inspire, uplift, and transform lives. From historically authentic sets to state-of-the-art, fully equipped sound stages, we offer immersive LED and green screen stages, ICVFX virtual production, period to modern sets, a first-century village featured in The Chosen, and much more. We provide everything filmmakers need to focus on what matters in making their vision a reality, producing meaningful content affordably without compromising creativity. Discovering what's possible when creativity meets purpose. Capernaum Studios, empowering filmmakers to make dreams a reality.
Welcome back, everybody. What a great show we had today, but we've run out of time now, Holly. Great interview.
It was a good show talking about this. Go see Sarah's Oil and Truth and Treason.
Yes.
Go see those movies.
Well, don't forget to check out our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. All right, until next week, take care.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.